we finna go in the area it's called the West Calumet Housing Complex, where I grew up, where I was raised, and like I said, I was just left my auntie Miss Florence house. That was like my suburbs compared to the projects. The projects is a low income housing, but we didn't consider ourselves poor with low income. I mean, we didn't have much as everybody else, but what we did have, we made it enough for everybody. And when they say it takes a village to raise a child, when I came up, that's how it was. It was Miss Shirley White, Miss Shirley Cooley, Shirley Sanders, a lot of people around my circle who helped raise me. My mother was a single mother, did the best she could do with me, and I love her to this day for it. But she had to work, so while she was at work, they made sure that I didn't get around and do too much bad. I mean, I did some things that was bad, absolutely, but they focused on us having something to do, and like I said, what we did have, we made just do with it. As far as we played football, basketball, baseball, and what people don't understand, when I was coming up my age, you was gonna be involved in some kind of sport, and my mother made it clear that I wasn't gonna just sit by the wayside. So my day used to consist of the summertime is I'm getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We had fastball pitch baseball. It was called Elks and Kiwanis. So I did that, and it'd be from here in Calumet to the harbor side. They used to play baseball games. Well, then right after that, we would come home and get a free lunch from the center, and we would have our free lunch meal. Then it was time to go play basketball. You had rivals, the centers, 151st Martin Luther King, Bessie Owens Clemente, and you would do that. So after those games was over and you did that, that's a full day for some kids, while our day was just halfway over. We went swimming right here at this swimming pool that we're approaching. Had a ball, relaxed your mind and did a few things. As far as I was a good swimmer, 1.5s, everything here at this pool. And right after this, you had to leave because it was time for softball down here at Goodman Park at the softball field. And Mr. Artist and Scully, they developed a softball field. A softball league. And some of the athletes that you're seeing out here, man, it was unbelievable. Robert Battle could hit the ball over the gate, and we were young kids, and that was impressive. Brian Isabel played with one hand in a cast, and he ended up being the league MVP one year. Corey Battle, Courtney Battle, Delmar Johnson, Brian Hudson, Jay Jernigan, Malone, me, we were on the softball team here, and it started maybe around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and we played to the night, and we were the Big Dipper All-Stars, and we won first place. It's different now. Back then, home plate was over here, and we used to hit the ball out that way, but this area, as you can see, is right by the soccer field where we was at earlier that we played football. This was all baseball. Most guys from East Chicago grew up wanting to be in the NBA, but I can guarantee you 85 to 90% you played more than one sport. That's what you did. So I was pretty good at baseball. I was quick and fast, so I stole a lot of bases. I was small, so they used to have me sink down and get the walk. So if I get a walk, if I'm on first, it may well be like I got a triple because I was still in second and third. And the big guys would bring me home. But right here baseball was the start of your day. These poles that's sitting right here, we used to go up to the nail and wood shop and make our own rims. And we would set up poles with water holes right here, play basketball. And to go back to what I was saying earlier, after softball, before the street lights came on, because we had to be home. Our first house that I really remember is right here, 4729. So you still have Miss Shelley White who stays there still to this day. You have the Cooley house is still there to this day. That area right there, that was like it had grass and everything. It wasn't a parking lot, coming up. But we started right there, and our parents should say, I can go no further than the street. So we would race at night. We would play basketball at night. So your whole day was 8 a.m. baseball, to basketball, to softball, to having races in the middle of the street, up and down the street. And like I said, I keep going back to it. Some of the greatest athletes, man, you ever seen. It's right here. But this is where it started. You had Robert Battle who stayed there. I stayed there. My cousin, the late great Quintel Peterson, stayed next door to me. You had Maurice Billups who stayed on one side. You had Brian Isabel who stayed around the corner. So this right here, when we used to have our football league that we had, because it wasn't Pop Warner or anything. So this was the project team. And the guys just from these big buildings and these streets, my best friend, one of my closest friends, the second house right there, Richard Love, he's kin to Royce Love, who was my fullback. He stayed right there. And from that house to DeJuan Harris to Ronnie Cole, who was one of the greatest wrestlers that come through East Chicago Roosevelt, he went state wrestling. All this, we combined to put teams together. Willie Coleman stayed at that second house right there. And Willie had the vision to say, you know what, I'm going to put my own team together. And he got us all white t-shirts with the markers and put our names in jerseys to make us feel special and represented. And we took that with pride. And he put a team together that was pretty much unbeatable. Coming from this little small area of a whole city of East Chicago. And the things we were able to do back then as young men, once it was time for me to go to Central and get on the football field, I had been through the battles and the wars already. That was easy.